Hello there, this is the Southern Hellenist. I am back with another video. So, hey everyone, I'm wearing a different shirt today. So in today's video, I am going to be talking about civilizations, looking at older civilizations as sort of like their spiritual ancestors or spiritual grandparents or something like that. And this really does explain a lot about the Romans' fascination with both Greece and Egypt, and why these lands were very coveted as far as conquering was concerned. Same thing went with the Hellenization of like Persia and of Egypt and things like that by the Greeks. It deals with, looking up to these older civilizations and how they affected how people perceive, the creme of the civilized world. So in my video, I showed a Lolarum, or a household shrine / altar, and two of the deities I had on my Lolarum happens to be Isis and Bastet. I love Bastet because I'm crazy about cats, and my brother will acknowledge that. He's also crazy about cats too. And Isis because she happened to be a very popular goddess in the Roman world, and she was so popular that you had hundreds of Isaiah followers crucified. But as I said in that video, it probably did have a lot to do with Cleopatra and Mark Antony and all that. So when we talk about spiritual ancestors in the ancient world, we're talking about civilizations that either were looked upon as the greatest of the great, and civilizations that were looked down upon because they had bad experiences with them. So for the Greeks, the civilization they really looked down upon was Crete. Crete was the dominant superpower in the Mediterranean, and of course, you had the Minotaur, which was believed to be a myth that was created to make the Cretans look barbaric and uncivilized, and it was a form of propaganda. So you have the Cretans that are looked down upon because of their dominance, and also because of what the Greeks had to give them. And you look at Egypt, which the Greeks absolutely loved Egypt. In fact, when I can't talk it now. When Alexander the Great, went through Egypt, he didn't meet any resistance from the natives because they were under Persian rule, and the Greeks had a very good memory about the Persians and how they are and how they treat people and things like that. So Alexander the Great went to the shrine of Amun, and the priest there said that Amun has decided that Alexander the Great is divine, and so he ended up becoming Pharaoh. Though he did not stay on the throne, but he was a pharaoh because the priest of Amun said that he was divine. So it makes him a king. So you have Egypt, which is the breadbasket of the Mediterranean, and they did a lot of trade with other countries because they had things that the Egyptians did not have. One of them, of course, was wood. You need wood to make furniture. You had people that went out there, learned how to make furniture like tables and chairs and things like that, and they would make furniture, and then people in Egypt would buy that furniture and put it in their home. So it was a necessity because of the climate that Egypt was in, or Egypt had. So Egypt relied a lot on these different countries for a lot of their goods and a lot of materials they needed to make these goods. By the time you look at Rome, Rome has two civilizations that they really, really admire. One of them is Greece, where Greek religion and Greek deities had a huge, huge effect on their religion. I read somewhere that prior to, I think, the Phoenicians, I believe it was, I might not be accurate on that, they actually had no statuary, no temples, no anything. They, they had the belief in spirits that lived in the water and the rock and the trees and the sky and things like that. And those morphed into some of the earlier deities who later on, you had a god that was in charge of the hinges. You had a god that was in charge of the doorknob. You had gods that were in charge of this, in charge of that. And these were really super, super minor deities. So you had the Phoenicians. You had Rome totally decimated Carthage. But when they conquered Greece, when they conquered Greece, they actually had to go on the ocean. There was a very interesting episode of Rome on that. They were because Rome did not like traveling by water. They hated water. Water was bad. The sea was bad, and so there was this really, really funny episode of Rome where these two guys, one of them actually played Poseidon in the Percy Jackson movie. His friend said "fuck Poseidon" during this storm, and his friend's like, "I want to kill you right now. I really do. I do not like being friends with you." Because he did not like the ocean. He was it was a pretty bad storm, and he said "fuck Poseidon," and he was like, "I just want to kill you right now. I just want to. I'm sure it's legal somewhere to kill you." That was the first time I think that he wanted to kill his best friend. Like, "I just want to kill you, just really badly. There's got to be some wall that I can hide behind and killing you." So it was funny. But yeah, so Rome, despite the fact is they did not like traveling by the water, I am guessing that they viewed salt water as bad. I don't know, but they were mainly a land power. The only time that they basically went into Poseidon's realm was when they had to go to Greece, when they had to go to Egypt, and especially when they had to go to Britannia. They had to travel by water, which was not their favorite mode of travel. Because they knew, despite the fact is that you had people running these ships that were expert seafarer crew members, they understood how dangerous the ocean was. So, of course, when they conquered Egypt, they adopted a lot of the deities. A lot of Roman emperors depicted themselves on temple walls as pharaohs, even though there was no pharaoh-like figure anymore. They loved depicting themselves as pharaohs and everything. So so you have this idea of, these spiritual ancestors, spiritual grandparents, and why these countries, why these empires were so ripe for people to come in and overthrow and form their own kind of hybrid type of government or hybrid type of empire or dynasty or whatever. So when you are looked upon and as like the greatest thing in the world, people are going to eye you for conquest because they want that influence. Especially with the Greeks being conquered by the Romans, they actually took the artisans out of Greece, brought them to Rome for the purpose of sculpting sculptures. They wanted sculptures of their gods in Rome. So it's a very interesting period of time, and why these two empires or these two countries were really looked upon as desirable to conquest, and it just took only a matter of time before these two countries were too weak to actually keep from being conquered. If Rome had come in during the time of the powerful pharaohs, they definitely would have been defeated, and Rome probably definitely wouldn't have conquered them. But because Egypt was weak and everything, it was very ripe for conquest and everything. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, another informative video that I have brought out. I don't know if I'm going to do a video tomorrow. I probably won't. I'm kind of taking a break from doing videos. I do have my Aphrodite candle coming in today, and I will be doing that video, show you guys that. But other than that, I probably will not be making another video and everything. So I will see you guys around. Until next time, may be happy, healthy, most important, be safe, and hail to the gods. Bye.